Welcome back. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. You can be part of the program to hear from you on Twitter or Channels_Sports, Facebook channels, IFA Sports. Are you looking forward to the Africa Athletics Championship? It will be done right here in Nigeria. The venue is Asaba in Delta State. And look, the Delta State government, the mean business with it, they're not joking. They are putting everything in place so that we'll have the best of that competition. Fantastic top athletes in Africa, they will be right here in Nigeria. And it's good because we've been monitoring the progress, and they told us that before the end of July we'll see a lovely stadium.
I remember I was talking about the story some 3-4 months ago, and we almost had our head in our hands because we're quite worried at the pace of the stadium at the time and the facility at the time, and we're very worried. But credit to them, they've done really well to put out a facility that world class. And for me, it's not just about the facility. There has to be a situation where logistics are top class, security is top class, and all of that. So medical is top class. So they've got to, it's the total package. They've got to try everything to make sure that the tournament is devoid of any trouble. But it's wonderful to see the stadium in this stage because it's fantastic. It's good to see, and I'm just looking forward to this tournament because it would be great having all the African stars come to Nigeria and just see our hospitality and how good we do things here in Austin. It's wonderful.
It would have been great. It would have been awesome. I agree, it's also wonderful. But Athletics Federation of Nigeria, wouldn't it have been lovely if we say fresh from Finland, and after winning gold in Finland, Joy is winning another gold medal here. It would have just, look, development is a gradual process towards advancement. You don't just get up and just win. You must work your way to it.
You know, I always say something that you cannot build a 3-story building from the third floor. So it's very, very important that you lay a very solid foundation. And you don't lose that layer of progress. Because if you have under 17s and under 20s and you don't give them the opportunity to grow, how do you expect them to graduate to the world stage, to the highest level?
You're not giving me what to talk about on TV. I want to talk about that. No, you know, Adegoke just got back. Benjamin just got back, and he did so well in Finland. Now, good opportunity to see them again. So now we'll start saying it was at the Commonwealth Games. We saw them.
And when you look at athletics, it's even peculiar. For some years now, it's always been blessed in Okagbare, blessed in Okagbare, blessed in Okagbare. So now we had a chance, and we had athletes coming through the line, and then we somehow we self-destruct. How do we intend? I mean, when I was watching yesterday, and when you were making the announcement, it was really, really sad. I felt the official should be penalized. I mean, you don't go about telling such a white lie on national TV, saying that you applied for visa only for the embassy to come out and say nothing such happened. It shows that, I mean, it doesn't
put the country in a good
light. When we are talking about people who are enemy of Nigerian sports, I mean, those comments are just really quite unfortunate.
Let's move on. Just to let you know that we are monitoring. That's all we can do. I want the progress of athletics in Nigeria. So all of the fighting, the rancor, the politics, it's none of our business. Just do the right things. Give us athletes. Develop the sports. Let us shine in Africa and the world. And everybody will be fine because it's important that we do just that. Infrastructure is very important for any country's sports to be admirable. Infrastructure must be top-notch. I think I'm joking. Ask Russia. They put so much money into infrastructure and they give us a world-class World Cup. And that's what Delta State, they are also doing with the African Athletics Championships. Also, in Enugu State, they're doing the same thing. Former Nigeria Professional Football League champions, Enugu Rangers, they have unveiled their new physiotherapy and fitness center. Beautiful. That's nice. Rangers is a big club. They should be doing all of these things. At the Rangers camp today, the club medical personnel and technicians were trained on how to use the equipment, which includes ankle training machines, elbow training machines, sweat training machine, bicycle timer equipment, and body rollers, because it's very important. This is what some of our footballers, they leave the country, they go out there, they see it, and it's like magic to them because we don't have them here.
It's a breath of fresh air, Austin, and you can only hope that other clubs to look at this and take a leaf from it and see how important football is and the level of growth football elsewhere have gone to. And it's just wonderful because I've said it many times that, in all honesty, with due respect to the people who run our league is not that professional, because things like this should be in place at a football club. It's a necessity. It's not luxury. You know, we can celebrate it as luxury, but this is not luxury. Every football club in this country should have this, and it's just wonderful that Rangers are leading from the front. It's quite exciting, and I'm sure also as Rangers have had it, I'm sure there are other clubs who will be thinking, come on, Rangers have had it, we can also have it.
That's right.
Yeah, and if you look at football now, it's gone sophisticated. Yeah, it's sports science involved in it. If you realize, even at this World Cup, there's just little difference between the teams that, you realize that it's just about that particular edge that you have, that scientific edge, that technical edge. And having something like this, and I mean, replicating it all over, Nigerian Professional League, we go a long way in improving the way we take care of players when they are injured, an understanding of, of our footballers and the way they operate. And it will go a long way in making them excel, even when they go internationally.
Because sometimes a player just small ankle injury, 4 months.
4 months. They bring ice block.
Well done, Enugu Rangers. We love these and more clubs. It's the Nigeria Professional Football League, who must do things professionally. Everything must be top-notch, must be top class. And that's why we love what's happening in Aba. We can see progress in that stadium. It's coming up. We need it to come up so that Enyimba can be playing at home. But Enyimba, they were busy today, not in Aba. Remember, they've been going everywhere. Port Harcourt, Calabar. They went back to Port Harcourt today to play in the CAF Confederation Cup right there at the Adokia Mesimaka Stadium. And they got, I was a slim 1-0 victory over Williamsville of Congo DR.
Yeah.
But was good enough. Cote d'Ivoire. It was good enough to take them to the top of their group.
It was disjointed performance. I was talking with Joseph backstage, and the important thing is that they got the 3 points on board, and it's quite wonderful because it's all that matters at this stage. It's about qualifying for the next stage. They got what they needed. They got the goal quite early. Mustafa Ibrahim, well taken goal, I must say. But I don't think Enyimba has that kind of momentum in terms of the football that we're playing on the day. Williamsville gave themselves some fighting chance, created some chance. It didn't quite take them. But come on, someone would tell me, is that what you would tell your children? You created chances, Enyimba took their chance, and it's the important thing.
That's very important. So with what Kara is playing now,
Joliba leading against Kara 2-0, and that would take Joliba to second place on the table, and Enyimba. The fans will shout Enyimba, Zabu.
No, there was Zabu. The ones in Lagos are that is good for Nigeria. But Joseph, we saw an Enyimba team that didn't give us that spark that we know them for. Is it because they've not been playing in the league?
Not just that. They are playing a venue that they are not too familiar with. They've been moving up and down, Calabar, as you said, and now Port Harcourt. And all these things has a way of creating a manner of confusion, understanding of the environment and the pitch. And you realize that they were up against a very youthful, Williamsville team, very, very young team. Most of their players are within the age bracket of 18 and 21. They have a Norwegian coach. So their interpretation in terms of technique, I'm sure, will be on the high side. I'm sure it must have given Enyimba a lot of issues. But no matter how 1-0 it is still a victory. But my concern there is that Enyimba has played more home games now. They've played 2 home games, so it means that they are going to play more away games now. At some point, they would need to get a result on the road. They played at Kara, they lost scandalously 3-0, and they have games coming up against Joliba.
2 wins and 1 loss.
They have to go to Williamsville. So, I mean, at some point, they really have to mature and grow up and be ready to pick points on the road. The Enyimba we are seeing now has a manner of issues. I just hope they are able to resolve it in terms of playing environment, because they are really, really struggling.
Yeah.
When you look at the surface, they are really, they've had to play in different surfaces, and it's not good.
That's true, because the behavior of the ball is not the same on a particular pitch. I don't want to call his name. There's a particular player that told me, he says, Austin, when I kick the ball, it's going too fast. Then the coach will say, it's not the same grass. So you see, you need to understand all of those things. So they play at the UGS Stadium, and they go to Adokia Mesimaka, and now when their pitch is ready, it's a different surface entirely, and they start playing with it. But let's just hope that Enyimba, they're a big time, club, and they should understand all of this, and the players are professionals. But people holding our league, there's something momentum does when a team is playing, consistent football. It helps, it puts them in the media, people are talking about them, they are training, they understand that they have something to do. So, club owners, politicians in the league, we want the league back. The league needs to come back. Let's play football. Let's talk about football. So it can help our team. They're playing in the continent, so people won't say Nigeria again and they're not doing well in the CAF Confederation Cup. The 2018 FIFA World Cup, what a story it gave us. From France winning the trophy, to Croatia making it to the final, to Germany not going beyond the group phase, got everybody talking. Records were made, records were broken, and that's football for you. It's United Nations. It told people a story of passion, of love. It made people sing, some cried, others danced. It's the World Cup for you. But Africa couldn't go beyond the group phase. At the World Cup, I met Karim El Damati. He's from Egypt, and he told me that African teams were just unfortunate.
Had a good team, but unfortunately that they lost against Argentina, but they deserve to go to the second round. Also Senegal, all of us show that Senegal had a very good group, and they supposed to go to the second round, but unfortunately that one just yellow card, which is the first time in the World Cup. It's okay. Morocco had a very tough group, but they show a good performance. It was the first team supposed to go to the second round from that group stage, but unfortunately it's football. Tunisia had a good team, but they lost. Egypt, we had a bad performance, unfortunately, and unfortunately for Salah, that he had that injury before the World Cup. But finally, we're supposed to go for the second round, at least one team from Africa. But it's okay, football.
They were in favor of the other countries than Africans. They were supposed to give them like penas, something like that. They were so unfair in this game. But we're really glad that they were here. I'm so happy. Africans representing Nigeria, Senegal, I was so happy. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you too. That was Karim from Egypt and Cecilia from Zimbabwe. So Karim gave a good analysis of African teams. So some were unfortunate, others didn't have the experience. Cecilia brought up a good point. She said that officiating was unfair to African teams.
I don't think so, really. I don't think so. When you look at, I think African teams were a little unfortunate, but also more of carelessness. When you look at the likes of Egypt and the way they conceded late, also Morocco as well, they conceded late as well, so, and the mistakes that they made. And you don't have to, you realize that African teams have to understand that football has become highly sophisticated. The issues of game management came up on several occasions. The issue of set piece, things that we have to work, it was an issue we had going to the World Cup, and we realized that we're not the only teams that had that same issue. All African teams kept on conceding from set pieces. Right. So I just hope we've learned that lesson. But in terms of the way we played was quite unimpressive. So many of our teams.
In Enyimba, I'll still get back to you, but more African football fans are still talking. Was it that African teams didn't prepare enough? The fans have the answer.
I think they just need to try a little bit more harder, and they can get it. They're really good. They're really fast. They know the sport very well. So it's nothing that they're doing wrong. They just got to try a little bit more harder.
Nah, it doesn't mean that we're not good, but it means that we need to work on ourselves more and to have more self-confidence so we can perform better next World Cups and in other leagues.
In a way, not fully, but in a way. But if you can first make maybe AFCON into a big world-class tournament, that's for African nation to where it's supposed to be, and then proceed to World Cup. But for the World Cup, in a way, we are not yet. We won't win a title for World Cup in a few years. Yeah, we won't.
Zimbabwean guys, in a way, we're not ready. We didn't prepare well. In your bang, you used AFCON. That if AFCON is a world-class tournament where the players know that the standard is high and is doing so well, it can rub off when we go to the World Cup.
I totally agree. Very salient point is made there, because the level, the standard of AFCON, honestly, you cannot compare it to what the South Americans do with Copa America or the Europe do with the European Championship. It's not at the same level, quite honestly. But Austin, there are fine margins when you go to competitions like, and the difference between success and failure could be just one person who refused to read the script. I mean, I'm looking at the Senegalese squad. They played against Japan, won the first game, were absolutely excited. Second game, went into the lead against Japan, threw away a lead, was unforgivable. In the third game, they played against Colombia. They lost the game by 1-0. There was a video going on social media where the corner was whipped in and Yerimina headed the ball downwards. There was a Senegalese player on the post. Idrissa Ganagay, who plays for Everton, was putting his hand on his waist. He just stood there. He stood as if he was not interested. And I think the margins are very, very tiny. I mean, you've got to be very, very top-notch in terms of concentration.
We come back to this discussion because Africa must get it right. We have the talent. We're blessed. Let's go on this break. When we come back, we'll talk some more. The World Cup has ended, but we will keep talking about it. Don't go anywhere. Stay.